What is up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to be checking out a new Safari Pedals plugin. Can't wait to show this one off to you guys, and with that said, let's check it out. So what's up? Welcome back to the channel. Chris here. So like I said, we're looking at a new Safari Pedals plugin. We've got the Level-Or. This is a collaboration with Standard Audio, who actually make this as a hardware unit. I believe it's actually based around the Level-Loc, which some of you may be familiar with the Level-Loc of sound toys. So it's all a kind of similar vibe we're getting here, except this is now the Safari Pedals version of this kind of sound. Not much more to say. Let's dive into the plugin. So if we take a look here, this is what it looks like. You can see we've got a couple of things on screen. We've got Mark 1 and Mark 2. There's a little bit of a different sound here as well. We have an extra speed that pops up. We've got a tone, which we can put pre or post all of this. And then just our simple input-output that will control how much gain we're pumping into this. And then you've got crunch at the bottom, which is more like distortion, and then level at the top, which is more like compression. Bear in mind, both of these are quite extreme forms of compression and distortion. So you're going to hear this is quite a wild plugin. Heavy. But it can be used to get some really creative effects, especially with the compression side. I quite like, once you start pumping a drum sound with this, you start to really pull out that room and you get this crazy pumping kind of sound. Very interesting. So maybe let's start there. I've got a drums loop, basically. If I turn this off, this is what we start with. Right, simple. Now let's turn it on. I've put it to a place where I quite like the sound of it, but we're gonna take it overboard and see how much we can mess the sound up. So this is with it off, and this is with it on. And I quite like that. To me, that almost sounds like what the drum break should sound like after it's processed. Now, it might be a little bit bright for my taste, so I can either pull that tone back or I can pull the blend back, get a bit of that wet dry going. One or a bit of both. And as you can see, we've also got that oversampling turned on there. That for me with distortion, I prefer a little bit of oversampling. It just sounds a bit cleaner, but it's always worth just turning it off and on, seeing which is your favorite. Now let's mess this sound up. So I'm going to default everything, just get it back to its default, as you can see like that. And this is what it sounds like on default. Now that's the sound right there. We've got on compression mode. I'm going to pull this back a bit. You can hear how it's just about finding a sweet spot. We turn it on to crunch. Heavy. And obviously we can dial this back, get a nice level for it if we just want like a bit of a taste, Or we can really push it and go over the top. Oh my god. So let's play with these speeds a bit. Right now we're on fast. I'll bring it down to medium and slow and we'll see what the difference is. Let's try that on the compression. So you can hear, obviously, with the different speeds, we're getting different responses from the compression and the distortion. When it's on a slower speed, I feel like it's just a more general kind of vibe. And then as we speed it up, we start to hear more of that kind of pumping and that really intense compression going on. For me, if I was using a slow sound, I'd probably end up just playing with this wet dry to try just add some body. Or if I was using a faster attack, maybe faster medium, I would have it more to beat that sound. But obviously, this is all open to interpretation. You're free to experiment and see what you like. Like on that slow setting, that's our dry drum sound. I'm just going to feed a bit of that in. So you can hear we're really playing with the sustain of the drums here. The drums, as they are dry, is quite short and tight, whereas as I blend in a bit of this, we start to really extend the sustain and get a bit more of a live sound coming out of this. Which sounds great. I'd love to try it on a faster. Let's try medium. And fast. It's cool because it's almost like a gated kind of reverb, in the sense that every time you hear that kick, the tail from the snare is getting chopped off. It's quite a cool effect. Let's play with a bit of the tone. Let's hear what that sounds like. And actually, I'm going to put the blend on full. Oh, I'm gonna get the crunch going. Woo. Oh my god, dirty. Now this tone is pre the distortion right now, so let's put it off there. Woo. Oh wow. That's very resonant, but it sounds great. I love it both a bit dark or a bit bright. I'm going to keep it on the darker side for now. Let's try the Mark 1. The Mark 1 feels a little bit more subtle, I guess I could say. Even how much it's like compressing and distorting and the sustain of everything, it all feels a little bit less on the Mark 1, which I quite like. I think maybe that's more my preference, but it does sound great. Let's try it on another instrument. I've got my guitar here. Yo Faithful, the GNL. Well, basically, I'm just using the Silver Llama, and this is what it sounds like with just the amp. Now let's get the leveler on. I really like this. I'm not going too over the top with it. We've got it on the crunch mode, the fast attack, or a fast speed, should I say. Tone is at the same. I might actually just pull it back just to, you know, get rid of a bit of that fuzziness we've got on the top end. Woo. And I mean, I've got the guitar on quite a bright setting. We've got it on the, you know, bridge pickup. I dig it. Might pull the tone back here a bit. And actually, let's hear this with the compression. So instead of this, that's the dry sound, we've got this. Way warmer. I'm digging that. But there you have it. Really digging the sound of that, even on guitars, whether it's compressing or distorting. I really like the vibe of it. Let's try Mark 1. Nice. I dig it. A little crispy. And actually, putting that speed down can hear all the crispiness on the top. And when I change the speed, it's gone. Sounds actually quite nice. But on the other hand, we've also got this to full, so I'm just gonna pull the blend back. Just so the pump from that reverb tail isn't as massive. Or I can always just pull the reverb back really and just have it on full. Let's see, pull that back a bit more. Nice. Sounds great. Really digging this Level-Or. You know, it's not super complicated in terms of what it's doing. I mean, in terms of understanding this plugin, should I say? Because what it's doing, I'm sure there's a little bit going on behind the scenes. But simple plugin, big sound. That should be the headline, the headline statement. Let's try it on some different sounds. Okay, so we've got a bass. We've got nothing on it amp-wise. This is what it sounds like. And this is what it sounds like with the Level-Or. Oh, I'm gonna pull this back a bit. This is intense. Super hefty on the low end. Let's pull up that tone. Wow, and pull this back. Speed it up. Wow, digging it. And lastly, I'm gonna pull that blend back. Let's try out some synths. I'm gonna chuck on my latest favorite synth, Serum 2. Okay, let's see what we got here. Get that Level-Or. Oh. Let me try it on the compression mode, see how that sounds. So I know that the saturation is coming from the plugin. But this?
Alright. What's his name? Big Mike.
Big Mike. Oh, Mike Dean.
Yeah.
Big Mike Dean. Sick. And then we start from here. Obviously, we're getting a load of volume boost. But if I turn that down, you can hear what it's adding. Loads of crunch, a little bit of information on the sides, you know. And you could just blend this to taste. Obviously, I'm gonna have it cranked. That does sound good on full. Sick. Let's try a different sound. Turn that off, okay. Here we go. Okay, wait, I just gotta, for the sake of this example, I'm gonna show off some drums that I've just done a video on. Whether or not it's out at this very moment, it's another question, but they're called Billboard drums, and I strongly recommend you check them out. They've got these loops. Oh! Wow, clearly getting a bit carried away there, but what a sound, eh? What a sound between the synths, the drums, the guitar, the bass. It's adding such an insane character. I mean, this might give you an idea of like what we're dealing with in terms of what a raucous plugin this is. And you can either be very heavy-handed with it, very light with it. It's gonna give you as much as you put into it. So insane. But shout out to the guys at Safari Pedals. This is not a sponsored video, but they did send it to me. But no money was exchanged, so this is more just my unbiased opinion on this plugin. And I think it sounds cool. I wouldn't use it everywhere. Maybe sometimes I might reach for the Sound Toys Level-Loc, but you know, it's kind of doing a bit of the same thing at the end of the day, and it's a way more affordable price as well, which is great. But there you have it, guys. If you enjoyed this, let us know in the comment section below. I'd love to know what you think. Are you a Safari Pedals user? Have you tried any of their plugins? I've done plenty of videos, so feel free to check out any of those. But let us know what you think in the comment section below. I'd love to have a conversation about it, so let's do it. Otherwise, I've been Chris Vella. Don't forget to like and subscribe. The support really helps. Thank you to anyone who's already done so. With that said, I'll see you on the next one.